Welcome to the South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Salkowski, Dustin Hassan, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Michael Germanuelian. I apologize, guys. Had the mic off there. Welcome to the South Texas Am Tour Power Hour. My name is Mike Germanuelian, guys. So excited to have you here with us tonight. Really exciting show. We're going to do a quick breakdown of Northern Hills, talk about the winners, talk about the golf course, some cool numbers from the weekend, and then we're going to jump right into the San Pedro Match Play Bracket Builder. So we are going to assign first round pairings, see who's going to be playing against who starting on Saturday, the 18th of February at San Pedro. It's going to be a great time. Looking forward to jumping into that with you guys. But before we get started, let's go ahead and bring out my co-host for the night, Travis Salkowski, joining me all the way. He is at San Pedro driving range right now. Travis, how you doing, bud?
I am doing terrific. I am in a vastly different location than MD is at. How is everybody going tonight? It's Tuesday? I know, it's crazy. I look right over at MD and it's so crazy. And it's just, it's so different doing the podcast next to you. It's just very,
we're used to being in our own little spaces and doing this. So live from San Pedro, guys, super exciting show. Travis, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday the 7th. How are you doing?
It's San Pedro Match Play Drawing Show. I mean, historically, this is really the only live show that we ever used to do. So the podcast spawned from the match play draws. So this is also the 2-year date of the last sellout.
Yep.
So the ACGT Tour in 2022 and the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour have been selling out events for 2 years. Here we are, and we are ready to draw a sold-out bracket tonight at the San Pedro Par 3 Match Play Extravaganza. I love it. But before we get there, we got to talk about Northern Hills from 2 days ago.
Because what a crazy kind of weekend that was. Northern Hills, great conditions. Golf course, I mean, I think the greens were as good as anything we've played on.
Casey made me really good notes tonight. So I mean, I have more material than I'm used to seeing. So
that is a lot of notes.
Look at how good his handwriting is.
His penmanship.
I mean, that's crazy. But okay, this is what I'm leading with tonight. Like, I'm going to try to look at the camera, but I'm going to look at MD. Yeah, I know. So this is a new broadcast for us tonight together. But let's talk about Northern Hills. 123 people played at Northern Hills on Saturday. And if I would have asked all 123 of them a week ago what the most difficult course was on tour, not one of them would have said Northern Hills. Not one.
I think it's your top 2 or 3. I don't think it was your number one.
Nobody would have said number one, right?
Nobody
Everyone would
would
have said either Mission or Cedar, right?
Yeah.
You think? And then maybe Willow even?
Maybe. I would say it would be Cedar. Maybe Almost during the summer.
The new Almost.
New
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah,
I would say New Almost. Then I would say probably Mission, Willow.
And then Northern Hills
And then
comes
Northern
into the
Hills.
picture at 4 or 5.
Maybe. Yeah.
Sure. But check this
Oh,
out. Check this out. This is amazing. I'm taking over the Jason Bird stat section for tonight as well. We've got the Northern Hills full field gross scoring average at 92, 91.99 to be specific. And this is the one that really stuck out to me when I was doing the point standings and the handicap updates and all that stuff. The average net score. This is including handicap. So this equalizes the field in theory, right? The average net score from 123 golfers in 6 flights, ranging from a +2 handicap to a 30 handicap, was 81.5 net, was the average net score at Northern Hills. Man, Northern Hills flexed its muscles and bared its teeth. That is 10.5 strokes over average at Northern Hills. And that combines to 11,037 strokes taken in a 5.5 hour period at Northern Hills.
To be fair, it rained and was ice all week, so no one got to practice.
There was not a lot of practice rounds, you're right. Almost
So-
like Monday through Thursday was shut down, basically, right?
I mean, that's my reason for sure why I did not play well.
Casey was scoring and he came up to me about halfway through. He's like, man, these numbers are high. And I'm like, yeah, they are in Northern Hills. And Northern Hills always seems to do it. I think it's crazy.
I think we've talked about that kind of leading up to the event where we were like, Northern Hills kind of sneaks up and can bite you in the ass at times. And it didn't do much sneaking.
What about the hole locations? I know Casey's in the room with us. He's not on camera right now, so he can chime in from backstage. There he is. Casey, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
I think, and I think you and I discussed this for course setup specifically. I think the pins were super gettable, super agreeable. Nothing stood out to me as like that was an impossible spot or really tough.
I think there was one tough one, number 13. I think that front right corner on 13 was lightning. But other than that, I mean, it's Northern Hills in February. I mean, you're going to get some glassy areas. That pin on 12, 13 was tough too.
I think 13 was somewhat difficult. Everything fed back to the right. So, I mean, it really kind of depends where you ended up. But I didn't think anything was too crazy. You set pins, I set the tee boxes. I don't think the tee boxes were crazy.
I think it was really good course setup, and I think
pace of play was pretty good.
All things considered, that was pretty doggone good for a stroke play shotgun start. Pretty happy with that. Really happy with the scoring. Casey and Dustin plowed through scoring.
Yep.
I thought the victory cookies were really cool.
Top notch as always.
And how about the course conditions of this start to the 2023 spring season? Monster Day at Mission. I thought Mission was maybe the best condition in 5 years. And then Almost Basin, those green complexes were awesome.
Almost played in great shape.
And the fairways at Mission were amazing.
Tight, but they were great.
And then we go to the greens at Northern Hills that we had, which
I think they were phenomenal. Like that speed was.
I thought it was perfect. And they still held, right?
Yeah. You could still manipulate and control the ball on the green very easily, but they were glass.
And then we come right to San Pedro, where the putting surfaces are pretty doggone good themselves.
In great shape. It's going to be, I think San Pedro is going to have its own challenges. We all know it very well. I know we're going to have a lot of new players, but Friday night before San Pedro, I will be out there playing at night at 10 o'clock to get used to playing under the lights again.
I'm so excited. I'm kind of out of my podcast element sitting next to you. I think it's so weird, but we'll get it. We'll get it down. Casey is just to my left. He is manning the chat board right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to recap the flights and the winners and put up some photos and then talk about the point standings and let everybody know I agree with that, Steven. The greens here at San Pedro last year were the best we saw in the spring season, and I'm looking forward to that kind of setup again. But as soon as we're done recapping Northern Hills, we're going to take a 2-minute break. We're going to change some camera angles, and we're going to get right into what everybody's watching and everybody's waiting for is the spring season event number 4, San Pedro Match Play Draw. It's such a cool night. It is Tuesday, February 7th, 7:41. We're on the air an hour earlier because we want to give this show all the time it needs and all the time it deserves. We've got the Wheel of San Pedro coming up to choose our random draw flights. And we're going to do something just a little different. We're going to pick third flight first. And we're going to work backwards, leaving champ flight, the suspense building through the whole show to the very end. So looking forward to that.
Third flight lives matter.
I agree completely. I think that's, yes. This is such a cool night. San Pedro Match Play is hands down my favorite event because it's so unique. It's so different. But we talk about it all the time. Who does it? Yeah. We do. And it's modeled after one of Casey Graham's all-night softball tournaments. That's kind of how we came up with the idea. And it starts at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, runs all the way through until 8:30 p.m. at night will be the last tee time. So we'll be finishing at 10 o'clock Saturday night, and then we'll come right back Sunday morning at 7 a.m. and go until it goes. Yep. And last year, in the final match, it not only did you have to go to the second final match, but it went 7 extra holes, 8 extra holes. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. Casey, how many extra holes did that go?
What? It got flipped, and then 7 holes.
7 extra holes.
Confirmed by the
first match, won by Zeke, and then flipped over, and then the second match went to 7 extra holes, 8 extra holes. And my favorite part about this is it's net matches. Last year, Dustin Hassan had a hole-in-one, and Zeke Martinez still had a putt to tie. Yeah, I think that's cool. I love it. I love it. But we'll get into the nuts and bolts of San Pedro. But let's not jump ahead, and let's go ahead and recap. Not redo. Let's recap.
I would like to redo my round at Northern Hills. I based on the average scores, I think we'd all like to
there's a lot of people that like to redo their
But let's just get this. Let's just
recap.
Recap at this point. So, Travi, let's jump into it. Northern Hills, we know it played difficult. We know it was a kind of a longer day out there. Let's start. You want to start with first flight, champ flight?
Let's start with champ flight.
Let's start with champ flight.
Championship flight at Northern Hills. First place on the gross side, Will Griffin, 3 under par, 69. Awesome. Really good bogey on the par 3, 4th, and that was his only blemish. Oh, there's a bogey on 16 as well. 5 birdies, really good. Will Griffin there holding the victory cookie on the gross side. Over on the net side in champ flight, we've got Ryan Mejia, 1 over par net wins championship flight. That does not happen very often, but there you go. Ryan Mejia edges Clayton Rodriguez and Dustin Hassan by 1 stroke there on the net side of championship flight. Congratulations, champ flighters. Moving on to first flight, 77, and Tim DeHoyas was the gross victory cookie winner. Tim DeHoyas bringing home the gross side. And on the net side, we have Tori Aluhan, one of the few red numbers. We've got 1 under 71. Oh, that's who we don't have. We don't have a photo. I'm sorry. We don't have a photo of that. But 1 under net turned out to be a really good score. I mean, that's 10 shots ahead of the average. So that is definitely the left side of the bell curve there. Tori, congratulations. First flight net. I'm sorry, guys. Dustin normally does this, and he does a really good job just ripping through this segment.
Yeah, he does.
But Dustin Hassan is not with us tonight because he got selected for jury duty out in Medina County. So good luck, Dustin, with that.
Congrats on being on the other side of it for once.
Second flight gross. Michael St. Clair takes home his second victory cookie in a row with an 81. Michael St. Clair with an 81. Look at him rocking that hat, looking sharp, and winning second flight by 1 stroke over Mario and Dakota Elbers. And then Mario Martinez took home the net victory cookie there, also at 1 over par net. 1 over par net, winning victory cookies at Northern Hills.
Hey, still more than Jason Bird has.
Third flight, Wayne Gonsalves, 11 over par, 83, gross side, gets the bonus points and the victory cookie in third flight. And on the net side, 2 over par wins on the net side. That's Jonathan Harder shooting the 74, rocking the victory cookie, feeling good at Northern Hills. All right, we are more than halfway done. Fourth flight was won by STX Am Tour ambassador himself, Greg Graff, with a fabulous score of 81. Edged second place gross by 8 shots.
Just barely got away with it.
Yeah, this is poor handicap management by Greg Graff. I made that joke on Saturday.
Adjustments.
But congratulations, Greg Graff, rocking the victory cookie, feeling good. Jason Cross, second place there. Fourth flight net, another red number. This is the lowest red number of the day. Willie Nichols. Second lowest red number of the day. Willie Nichols, 67, 5 under par net. Taking the cookie home. There were some Facebook posts of him and the kids eating the cookie. That's awesome. Yep. Congratulations, Willie Nichols, getting the bonus points for net on the fourth flight side. One more flight to go. 6 flights. 6 flights. 5 sets of tee boxes were used at Northern Hills. Tony Floyd brings home fifth flight. 5th flight gross. Tony Floyd, 92. That is a 20 over winning 5th flight. So really, South Texas Am Tour is a home for everybody. There's a category for every type of golfer. And Jeremy Bartlett, the low net score of the day, 63, played great. Played really good. Congratulations, Jeremy Bartlett. Those are your victory cookie winners from Northern Hills. And man, Northern Hills played tough.
Awesome.
There's one more stat that I want to talk about from Northern Hills. And Dustin Hassan said this has happened before, but I don't recall it happening. In 5th flight, on the gross skins of 5th flight, a bogey on the 13th hole won a skin.
We have seen that before.
Okay. So there was a good bogey skin in 5th flight at Northern Hills. I think that's awesome.
Cash and checks.
I love it. Guys, that's Northern Hills and a wrap. Spring event number 3. Full results are on the website. A link to Golf Genius is on the website. The pictures of those flight winners are on the Facebook page and the website. The point standings have been updated, which brings us to our next graphic, the top 10 following spring event number 3 at that is definitely the right point standings, but I didn't change the top graphic. That's on me. This is the top 10 following spring event number 3 at Northern Hills. It's definitely the right people.
Yes. Points are updated.
Points are updated. You can go to stxamtour.golf and see the full point standings there. But there's a 3-way tie. There's a 3-way tie in first place. And man o' Roy Medina stays there in first, but Steven Evans up 2 shots and Tim DeHoyas up 14 spots to number 1 there, 3-way tie. Greg Graff moves up 20 large for 4th place. Dustin Hassan slips 2 to 5th. Willie Nichols up 11 to tee 5th. And then there's a 3-way at 7. Jonathan Aiken down 4, Brad Gilbert down 1, and Michael Sinclair up 21 for that 3-way at 7th place. And then Jonathan Harder slips into the top 10 at 10, up 32 spots with his victory cookie take home at Northern Hills. So point standings are updated, handicaps are updated, the results are on the website, and ladies and gentlemen, I think the time is approaching quickly.
I believe I believe we have successfully recapped Northern Hills. I think it's time to get to the show.
Well, let's see. Anybody watching have any comments on Northern Hills? Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Any questions, comments, concerns?
Anything? Nothing?
Nothing. Good.
Bueller?
That's awesome.
Bueller?
I am happy to let Northern Hills ride quietly into the sunset and move on to quite arguably the best thing ever.
It's the best. It is quite simply the best.
I mean, it's
Better
right
than
up there
all
with
of us.
sliced bread.
I mean, and then someone decided I'm gonna toast that. It's just toast sliced bread. This is, I mean, this is the best.
Guys,
it's like watching Casey hit a draw. Like it happens once a year, and it is just magic.
I know, it's right. And he goes up there and he's like, watch this, I'm gonna try something different. And he does it
Swing
one time. You know?
80% draw.
So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hit play on that opening video again. We're gonna change some camera angles, change positions just a little bit, and bopping and weaving, rocking and rolling. And here we go.
Stand by. We love you all.
Woo! I love this.
Welcome to the South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Salkowski, Dustin Hassan, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Michael Germanuelian. All right, everybody. So here we go. If you look to the other side of me here, you will see the wheel of destiny, the wheel of San Pedro and match plays, where first rounds are created. Half that group that we're going to pick today, they're going to lose their first match. You're already halfway a loser or halfway a winner.
I mean, that is so good.
I don't
It's so
honestly,
good. I love it.
I don't honestly even feel bad for saying it, but here we go. Here we are. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and spin the dial. We've got Casey on camera, Travis rocking the
We're gonna do third flight first.
third flight first.
From the top down, and then after third flight, we're gonna recap the flight, and then we're gonna run over the specifics of the event, and then we're gonna do second flight next from the bottom up, and then we'll go over the flight recap, some of the other specifics, and then we'll get to the left side of the bracket with first flight first, followed by championship flight. So cool. MD's got 4 wheels set up. Each wheel is a flight, but we're going to get right to it with the first pick of third flight. We're going to go right down from the top down here. The first name picked. Spin that wheel, MD.
Let's see.
I can't see the wheel. So
He
I'm
cannot
going
see the wheel. First name on the board. Oh, it just falls in with Mr. Kevin Tennyson.
Kevin Tennyson, first pick. Who is playing against Kevin Tennyson
Playing
in the first round match at
against-
9:15 in the morning?
Playing against Kevin Tennyson. Paul Pena is going to be playing against Mr. Tennyson.
Paul Pena. All right. Moving on. Next
Moving
in
on.
third flight.
Stephen Evans, sets of tees, stuff like that. We're going to go over at the end of the drawings tonight. Actually, at the end of each piece of the bracket, so each flight.
Yeah, so we
we'll
wanted
go through it.
we
So-
wanted to get right to third flight picking, and then we're going to come back and go over the event specifics, which are also available online at stxamtour.golf. But we're going to do third flight first, recap third flight, and then we'll go over those questions.
Yep, perfect. All right, so our next pairing. Let's see.
This is great.
It's Morgan Graff.
Morgan Graff. Who is playing against Morgan in the first round?
Let's find out. Morgan Graff is going to be playing against Rudy Fuentes.
All right, and next up, we got 4 done. We're a quarter of the way done with third flight.
We're a quarter of the way done with third flight. So let's see who's up next. So next up is going to be Mike Murin.
Mike Murin. That's 2 M's in a row. Mike Murin. Fun fact, Mike Murin was the winner of that bogey skin at Northern Hills.
There you go.
Who is playing against bogey skin? Mike Murin. Money still spends though.
Money still spends. Playing against Mr. Murin is going to be Ernie Cannon.
Ernie Cannon. I love that. That's good. Ernie Cannon. C-A-N-N-O-N versus Mike Murin. We are almost halfway done with third flight here. Next up, MD in third flight.
Next up in third flight, let's see
I love this show. It's
the
my favorite
Wheel
show.
of Destiny. She spins, and she has called upon CJ Gomez.
CJ Gomez. Who's got CJ Gomez? And we're halfway through.
The person playing against CJ Gomez, who you got to feel a little bit bad for because we got to play against CJ Gomez.
CJ Gomez.
Mr. James Sneed.
J. Sneed, S-N-E-E-D.
SNW.
Halfway through, has your name been picked? If it's on the board, it has.
It's on the board,
It's a good recap right there. If it's on the board, it's been picked. Keep up the good work. Who's up next?
Next up is Mr. Danny Puckett.
Danny Puckett. U-C-K-E-double-T. Who's playing against Danny Puckett? We're on the downslope here in third flight.
Survey says David Falconer.
David Falconer.
Ooh, that's a good
L
matchup.
C O N I E R.
Okay.
6 names to go.
6 names to go. Let's see who's up. Let's see who's going to be rocking that next tee time. Lazaro Gonzalez.
Les Gonzalez. Who's playing against Mr. Gonzalez? And we're getting close here in third flight, guys.
We're getting close. This one, it looks like we're going to be falling on Brian Perlberg. And then there were 4.
And then there were 4. 4 names to go. The next 2 will play each other. The last 2 on the wheel, we can spin just to see who was picked last.
It's pretty when it spins. Let's see who is going to be one of our last pairings. David Felsing.
David Felsing going to Kohler this year.
Going to Kohler. David Felsing.
Here, this is it. This is the big
Let's
draw
see
right
who
here.
he's playing
This is the
against.
big draw.
Against Harry Aiken.
That is A-K-I-N. And that leaves
us with Joe Workman.
and Larry Jimenez, whose name is going to go first on the board.
Let's see whose name goes first on the board.
I know Joe's watching, so maybe it's good luck for him if he's picked last.
It might be. 50-50
He
chance.
is not
He
picked
is
last.
not last.
He is not picked last.
Hopefully that's
So
good
it
luck
is
for not being last.
Joe Workman and Larry, Jimenez. There we go. Casey's going to give you a flight recap here, and then we're going to go over the event specifics. Okay, I'm giving you a flight recap, and Casey's just moving the camera. Okay, I love it. That's what we're doing. That's good. In match number 1 of third flight, we've got Tennyson versus Pena. Match number 2, we've got Morgan Graff versus Fuentes. Match 3, we've got Murin versus Cannon. Match 4, Gomez versus Sneed. That's going to be a good one. Match 5, we've got Puckett versus Falconer. I think that's going to be good as well. Then we've got Gonzalez versus Perlberg, Felsing versus Aiken, and rounding out third flight, we've got Workman and Jimenez. That rounds out third flight. I hope everybody had as much fun as we did writing it up there. We love spinning the wheel. Kind of really the only time when we get to assign pairings on camera. Like, this is really fun. It's all randomized throughout the flights, throughout the regular events. But this is fun to do this on camera.
Yep.
MD, what questions do we have so far?
So really the only kind of questions that I have seen at this point coming to us, Stephen Evans, how are the tees going to be done? 2 sets of tees, 1 for men, 1 for women?
There's going to be 3 sets of tees, but we'll get to that right now. So this is spring event 4, the San Pedro Match play. This is a true double elimination match play round. We've seen the field of 64 bracket a lot over here, right? Check out how many spots there are on the consolation side. This event is 280 plus rounds of golf, which is up to 13 laps on the par 3 course, up to 13 laps. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Must win twice. It can be up to 13 laps around the par 3 course here. Starting under the lights, sun comes up, sun goes down. Starting under the lights, sun comes up, sun goes down. Really, really cool event. Triple points this is. And I want to stress how important this is, MD. Triple points in this event isn't like triple points at a regular tour event. 6 people got the bonus points, 150 points at Northern Hills 3 days ago, right? Only 1 guy or gal wins this event. Only 1. So there's only 1 person getting 300 points. This is the first time we're really going to see the point standings explode up on top. They are all net matches. It is 50% of your tour index and then 70% of it. So it's about 30% of your index because San Pedro doesn't have a rating that converts with our program. So the numbers on the event roster that was sent out last night and on the Facebook page and on the website, the numbers on the event handicap column already show the adjustment. That is your event handicap for this event. There are 3 sets of tee markers. There are the blacks, there are the whites, and there are the San Pedro reds. This will be the senior tee, and this will be the ladies tee, or the Morgan tee, I guess. It's just Morgan in this field.
The Morgan Graff tee.
The Morgan Graff tee. I could have put that on the board, I guess.
We could have.
Right? And the tee boxes will change during the day. The whole locations will change Saturday to Sunday, but the tee boxes will change during the day Saturday and during the day Sunday. So that's going to be a new niche for this year. Range balls are included in your entry fee each day. I'm going to feed you twice on Saturday. There's going to be a grab-and-go breakfast Saturday morning, and then there'll be a lunch ticket for burger, fries, and a drink for you can have any time on Saturday. The first round matches, what we are drawing tonight, will be assigned a starting tee time, which will be emailed out over this weekend in the official first notice to players. It's going to start at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, and the first round is going to be in foursomes. So we're going to go all the way around the field of 64 in foursomes, and then after the final foursome of third flight, we'll take a 15-minute break, and we're going to go twosomes, starting with the consolation bracket twosomes. All the rest of the way will be played as pairs, as matches only. When your match comes off, you'll come in and report your match, and you'll go right back on the list to go back out. And as soon as your match is paired, it is just rapid fire. Whose match is ready now? This match is okay, you're on deck. And there'll be lots of announcements. So we can kind of gauge an idea of when your next round match will be. But as always, I always recommend staying at San Pedro because you never know when your match is going to be called. Saturday, especially Saturday afternoon, is lightning quick. MD, anything you want to add to that?
I have nothing to add to that. Makes sense. We'll cover it again.
We'll go over it again after each flight.
We'll go over it after each flight, and ultimately, check your emails for notice to player. It will house all of this information as well. So we will continue to roll through the bracket here. I think we are ready to move.
Are we ready to spin the wheel on second flight?
I'm ready to spin the wheel. I'm ready.
All right, we are going to go second flight from the bottom up.
From the bottom.
And you may ask, why are we going from the top down on one?
Travis, why are we going from the top down on one, but from the bottom up on two?
Well, seeing as that's such a great question, MD. Thanks for asking. I love that.
We're so insane. Live shows more often.
I know, a live shows together. I think it's great. So you think it's blind draw. What does the order that they go on matter? It matters for one thing. It matters for the placement of the loser into the consolation bracket. So where the order of the name draw, the losing player of the first round match will go into a specific spot. By flipping this, we randomize it one level further and add another random draw to the equation. So we did third flight from the top down. We're going to do second flight from the bottom up. And go ahead, MD, spin that wheel. And who's the first name drawn from second flight tonight? February 7th. The time is 8:08.
It is Mr. Chris Arnold.
Chris Arnold. Who is playing against Mr. Arnold?
Oh, let's find out, shall we?
Oh, well.
Join me on this journey to find out.
I love it. I'm coming right along with you.
We have landed on, Willie Nichols.
Willie Nichols. Willie Nichols, Chris Arnold, first match drawn in second flight. Who's up next, MD?
Let us discover that.
Second flight, San Pedro Match play, South Texas Amateur Golf Tour, Alamo City Golf Trail Division.
We are on Mr. Kevin Looney.
K-L-O-O-N-E-Y.
Clooney. There you go.
With a K.
Let's see who he'll be playing.
I love it. Let's see it. Let's find it out together. This is such a cool event. It is huge viewership. Who's up next?
That would be Charles Klein.
Charles Klein, Kevin Looney. Charles, that is K-L-E-I-N. Charles Klein, Kevin Looney. The winner of that match will play the winner of Willie Nichols and Chris Arnold. The bottom of the bracket here in second flight, looking strong. All right, moving up the bracket here in second flight.
Next to play.
Oh, I love the wheel.
Oh, Scotty Cunningham.
Scott Cunningham. I know he's watching. I-N-G-H-A-M. I got so excited to write Cunningham. I wanted to put like 6 names in a row.
Playing Scotty Cunningham.
Who gets to draw Scott Cunningham? The wheel is about to tell us.
The wheel has chosen
Who
David Thomas.
David Thomas. Ooh,
Oh,
that's a tough draw for
Scott.
Scotty Cunningham.
poor Scott.
David Thomas, Scott Cunningham.
All right, next group. Let's see who we got.
All right, moving up. We're halfway. We're almost halfway.
Mr. John Harder.
Oh, coming off a victory cookie,
Coming off
Jonathan Harder. Harter. Harder. Who gets to play Northern Hills victory cookie winner, Jonathan Harder?
Oh, well, let's find out, shall we? It looks like it will be Jason Cross.
Oh, jeez, those are good matches.
That is.
Woo! Halfway through second flight on the live random draw with the Wheel of Destiny.
And the names left on the wheel right now, all of these are going to be good matches. Because, I mean, all of these are going to be.
These middle flights.
Yes.
Second flight and first flight. In first flight, the handicaps are all the same.
Yep. Next group is Greg Graff.
Oh, GG.
Now, Greg Graff has a wheel of people here that I don't think anyone on it wants to play against him.
Oh, I love it. Let's see who
I said
Greg
something
Graff-
nice.
Okay.
He was not thinking I was going to say something nice. I'll never talk bad about Greg Graff to his face.
Who did Greg Graff get?
He's playing Chris Hughes.
Chris
Woo!
Hughes.
Oh boy. I like that matchup.
I think that is electric.
That is a top 3.
I'm gonna go with we're gonna say it's electric right now, but Greg Graff and Morgan Graff play the par 3 course so much here that I think Greg Graff slaughters Chris Hughes early.
Next is going to be
Chris Hughes.
Oh, I'll take
We're
Greg.
taking Chris Hughes. Well, next to play is Scotty
Oh,
Williams.
he was fun.
I spun. I didn't realize we were going to go.
I love it.
Scotty, apologize for ruining that moment for you.
Scott Williams. Okay, moving up.
I'm staying on track.
I know, I love it. It's great. Listen, if there's a show that I can get off on tangents on, it's this one.
It is this show. Scotty Williams will be making his San Pedro 2023 debut against Micah Carroll.
I love that.
That is a match of the tour travels.
I love it. Both going to Destination Cooler this year. Both their second. No, Scott's first trip. No, Scott's second trip.
Scotty's second trip.
Scott's second trip. Everybody coming back.
Okay, next to play. Let us see.
There are 4 names left in second flight.
Looks like this matchup is going to be Funky Roy Medina.
I love Roy Medina. That is first place in the point standings, Roy Medina.
First place in the point standings, Roy Medina. For those of you who don't know.
I had the newsletter email typed because it's 3-way tie in first place, right?
Yes.
So I was like, there's a new points leader, kind of.
All right, well, playing against Roy Medina, who's it going to be? I'm going to guess Chris Walker.
I'm going to go, oh, there we go.
Well, it decided for us, didn't it? Dennis Danowski playing against Roy Medina. Dennis.
I added a W there, I'm sorry.
And
Sounded like my name, Dennis, I'm sorry.
for position
For
purposes,
position, we've got Chris Walker and Tim Blunt left. Whose name gets written last?
whose name gets written last? Well, it looks like Tim Blunt is going to be playing Chris Walker.
Tim Blunt first?
Yes.
Okay, so let me focus here because I made the first mistake tonight. We've got BLOUNT against Chris Walker. Focusing.
Folks.
Okay, I thought that was a question.
No, it was not. It was definitely a statement. I apologize to Dennis for spelling his name wrong. I will fix it, I promise. We have a quick second flight recap from the top down. Chris Walker versus Timmy Blunt at 8:30. Dennis Danowski versus Roy the Funky Cole Medina at 8:30 as well. Then we've got the featured second flight match. Micah Carroll versus Scotty Williams. Chris Hughes versus Greg Graff. That is an electric foursome. Jason Cross taking on Jonathan Harder. David Thomas versus Scotty Cunningham. Klein versus Looney. And Nichols versus Arnold. Wrapping up second flight.
And fun fact, Scotty Williams started off against Micah Carroll last year.
Back-to-back blind draws
Back-to-back
against each other.
blind draws against each
I think that is
other.
great.
Scotty Williams, did you win or did you lose? Is this you coming for revenge, or is you trying to bounce back after a really embarrassing loss?
No offense to Micah.
No
I guess.
offense to Micah, but he's not watching, so I don't care.
Okay. We don't know that at all, by the way.
Greg Graff, appreciate it. I want you to hit Micah in the stomach with a golf ball at San Pedro Match play. And confirm Scotty Williams is coming for revenge against Micah here. So be on the lookout for Revenge Watch 2023. I love it. Do we need to do a quick recap on where we're standing on the event as far as match play goes, time starting, anything?
I think that's great. I think we absolutely, for those people just joining us, it is Tuesday, February 7th. It is 8:16 p.m. We are halfway done with the blind draw, 15 minutes before we normally come on the air tonight. Wow, that is, I mean, we're on pace right now. Our pace of play is fabulous.
Pace of play is absolutely fantastic.
Does that mean that I can go off on more tangents?
That is absolutely not what that means. I still have to drive 2 hours home.
No.
I'm still driving 2 hours home, so it's we're staying on track.
All right, I love it. This is San Pedro Match Play Spring Event 4 on the Alamo City Golf Trail Division. This is the blind draw selection show for the first round matches. San Pedro is a true double elimination match play event. Guaranteed 2 rounds on Saturday. It is triple points. All of the matches are net. So it's half of your tour index and 70% of that transfers us to San Pedro par 3 course. We're going to be playing 3 sets of tee markers. We've got 15 and under, 49 years, 364 days of age and younger, playing the black STX Am Tour tees. Then we've got 50 plus the seniors playing the white South Texas Am Tour tees. And then we have our lone female competitor, Morgan Graff, playing the San Pedro red tees.
I thought they were the Morgan Graff tees.
They are the Morgan Graff tees. I'll change that for the next segment. I'm going to write it
in the email.
I'm going to write it down. We won't put it in the email, but I'll put it on the whiteboard during the podcast. Range balls are included, 2 buckets. There's grab and go breakfast Saturday morning with a burger lunch ticket you can have for lunch and dinner at any time. You made a great point earlier. 32 people lose this round match. 16 people go home 0-2.
Been there.
Oh, man. Jonathan Aiken, if he's watching right now, he's going to chime in. He goes 0-2 all the time. He wanted me to make a t-shirt that says, about to go 0-2 at San Pedro. How are you doing? Round 1 matches. Round 1 matches are going to be played as foursomes starting at 7 a.m. Saturday morning. That is February 18th. That is not this Saturday.
Not this.
The next Saturday. And that brings us to a good point as well. We are doing this draw tonight on February 7th because there will not be a podcast next week. We are going to, MD, Michael DeManuelian's wife, requested a Valentine's Day podcast off. So we are going to honor that for them, and we're not going to have a show on Tuesday night. I just made that up right now. But
Fun fact, I'm not even going to be in town.
We are not going to have a show on Valentine's night, so we will Valentine's Day night, but we'll come back after.
Now I really have that.
If you're alone on Valentine's Day and this was your big thing to watch, if we were your plans for Valentine's Day, apologies. You need a hug.
I will.
Apology kind of accepted.
We're gonna do a tour singles mixer. It's just gonna be a lot of dudes, but.
All right. So, yeah, we can get right to first flight. I mean, we kind of got off on a tangent right there.
Well, that was yeah, it was. Whatever. You know what? Let's talk about first flight. Let's go ahead and bring them into the mix a little bit. Haven't gotten the attention they deserve tonight. Well, here we go. Let's start.
Let's hold on one second before you spin here. Let's look at first flight. 15 players are the same handicap, and 1 player is 1 handicap less than that. There's 1-2 in first flight, and there are 15 threes. That is another cool thing about the Tour's handicap database and this event being flighted in those brackets.
Equity across.
I think that's so cool. Forgive the lines and the little colors. We had a drop ad on there. So everything posted on the website and the Facebook page is accurate information in the field of 64. The attachment to the email from last night is one person off.
Right on. Okay.
Without further ado,
let's spin the wheel of destiny for first flight.
the wheel of
The wheel
destiny.
of
This is top down.
destiny.
First flight is top down.
Oh, and we're kicking it off with Austin Perryman.
We're much further away from the list of players right now. Perryman. Perfect.
Playing against Austin.
Playing against Austin. I love it when there's so many people on the wheel still.
Mario Martinez.
Oh, I was gonna creep up. No,
Steve
Robert. That was an early call right there.
It was bold. I regret nothing.
So Mario Martinez still on the wheel.
Mario
Steve
Martinez.
Robert versus Austin Perryman in the 7:45 match.
Yep. Here we go. Next group. Who do we got?
I don't know. The wheels hasn't told us yet.
Now it's come for you, Michael, or for Mario.
Mario, there we go. One spin later.
Now, for those of you who are new to the show, who have not played at San Pedro in previous years during match play, this used to be done with strips of paper and names, and there weren't as many people playing. This is our first sellout.
And there was always a mistake. There was a cup and
Always an issue with the cup.
Well, this is so great. Credit to Casey Graham for finding this.
Yep. So let's see who's going to be playing against Mario. Survey says,
Logan. I'm gonna go with Logan.
yep. Logan or Mario?
Logan Armga. Maybe RMGA versus Mario Martinez. That's Mario Martinez, not Michael Martinez.
Yes, I realize that. I did catch it. Thanks, Dad.
I was okay. I was saying it for the people.
Well, the people will know what I tell them. Next to play is a Michael St. Clair.
Michael, that's a victory cookie son of a gun right there. A victory cookie winning son of a gun. I forgot the word winning.
That dude shows up with an insulin shot because he knows he's getting a cookie every time. All right.
The one-liners are ripping out right now. It's a great show.
Feeling it tonight. Let's see who's playing against Michael St. Clair.
I love the drum roll. Keep up the good work.
Bird Gilbert? No, I misspelled Brad. I apologize. He's playing against Tim Smith.
I got Smith, guys. Perfect.
The one name Travis can't spell.
Woo!
Bang. All right. Next pairing. Starting it off.
We are almost halfway through first flight here.
We are almost halfway through first flight. Weston Irie.
Okay, I'm gonna need some help there.
Irey.
I didn't need help. Got it.
Yeah. Playing against Weston. The Wheel of Destiny has decided. Maybe. Oh, Baldo.
That is a great match.
It's a stellar match.
That's all I needed right there.
That's it. He's the one dude in the entire database.
You know?
Goes by
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next pairing. We have Ruben Ramirez.
Okay. Ruben. You can handle that one. So far, I'm doing good. I added a letter. I didn't mix stuff up. I just added a letter to dance.
Yeah, you
All
just made him a
right.
second cousin.
Steve Roberts says the wheel is rigged. Steve Roberts, the wheel is not rigged. This is a legitimate operation. Rude. I don't like cyberbullies.
And your man.
And you're banned. Locked.
Probation.
Probation. Playing
Ruben Ramirez.
Ruben Ramirez is Jeremy Semlinger.
Jeremy.
A couple of South Texas match play
Yes.
competitors. up against each other. Very
I mean,
nice.
every match in first flight is solid.
Yeah. All right, next group. Let's see, who do we have? Bradley Gilbert.
It's actually spelled bird.
It's Bird Gilbert. Not to be confused with Jay Bird. Playing against Brad Gilbert. Oh, let's see. Captain Kent Simnett.
Captain Kent Simnett.
Here we go. Match.
Good match.
That's a strong match. And we are down to the final four.
Final
Dingman,
four.
Kacheski, Tyler Pascal, and Nick Lewis. Let's see who is going to be rounding out the next.
This is the
pairing.
bottom of the left side of the bracket. Nick Lewis first.
Nick Lewis.
All right, this is the most important spin.
The
It's
most
equally as important as the rest of them, but out of dramatic flair.
dramatic flair. 33.333333 possessions. Ooh.
That's so good.
He's got to play Tyler Pascal.
Tyler.
Woo! Yep, Tyler,
Nick Lewis.
Tyler and Nick Lewis. Great pairing. Tyler Pascal playing some pretty solid golf. And that means Chris Dingman will be playing Mark Kacheski. Let's find out who is going to be the last person on that pairing. Meaning that
This is a good match, too.
Great match. I
Dingman, Kacheski. Is it going to be Kacheski?
Kacheski versus Dingman, officially. Wow. Steve Roberts, Jaeger bombs at 7 a.m. Best round of golf I ever played at San Pedro.
Run
I
it
took
back, Steve Robert.
several shots of Jaeger bomb before I went out onto the course that day.
Here we go. We've got a first flight recap at 7:45 in the morning. We've got Perryman versus Robert. Martinez versus Armga. Match 3 of first flight is St. Clair versus Smith. Then we've got Irie versus Baldo. Then Ruben Ramirez versus Semlinger. Gilbert, first name Brad, versus Captain Kent Simnett. Lewis versus Pascal, and Kacheski versus Christopher Dingman to round out first flight. Casey, what sticks out there to you in first flight? What match should everybody be watching?
I think everybody needs to be watching the South Texas match play match. Semlinger Ramirez.
Semlinger Ramirez, that is a good one. I mean, anything that we just talked can come out.
I like the Brad Gilbert, Captain Kent. I think that's a.
First flight is so stacked.
That's.
Nick Lewis and Tyler Pascal.
I think you could throw a dart at that and you're gonna hit a good parent.
I think that is fabulous.
I mean, the only one that has any disadvantage is Smith.
Yeah, with the one stroke. So Smith's got to give the whole flight a stroke.
That's why I'm putting my money on Smith to win that flight.
I think that's fabulous. I think that's great.
You go. All right. So that is first flight pairings. Let's jump over to Travis and just go over the info again.
How's everybody doing tonight? Tuesday, February 7th, San Pedro, Spring Event 4, live match play draw. MD, anything in the comments before we run through the event details one more time?
Yes, Captain Kent knocked out Brad Gilbert last year.
Oh, terrific.
So we have another revenge match, which is super exciting. And then Greg Graff, assuming already knows he'll be knocked out early, he's asking what the caddy rule is for a match play. Can he caddy for Morgan? I assume is what the question is.
I believe that is a yes. We are going to consult the rule book and we will get back to you, Greg Graff. I believe the answer there is yes. In a match play event, a competitor not during a match can caddy for another competitor. I believe that is an accurate statement, but we will look it up in the rule book to confirm that. And then we'll post that on the Facebook page. I can't do that during live show here because we're in the same room together. But
is that something that would be on the USGA rules app that people can download?
It would absolutely be in the official Rules of Golf app. It's a free app too.
Free app to download. It's a good way to go find any ruling questions that you may have, something to definitely have when you're playing tournament golf.
San Pedro is spring event number 4 on the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour's Alamo City Golf Trail division. It is the only match play on the regular season. It is a double elimination, guaranteed 2 rounds on Saturday tournament. It is triple points. One competitor will win the final match and earn 300 points. They are all net matches, 50% and then 70% of your tour index. 3 sets of tees we're going to be using on the 18th and 19th. We're going to use the black tour tees, the white tour tees for senior, and the Morgan Graff San Pedro tees for our lone female competitor. Range bowls are included. There's a grab-and-go breakfast on Saturday, a lunch ticket for burger and fries. If you haven't had the burgers here at San Pedro, they are really good. Shout out to Javi, the general manager here, and Roy, the Alamo City Golf Trail Employee of the Year from the previous year. Amazing food here at San Pedro. We're going to play that first round in foursomes, kicking off Saturday morning at 7 a.m., February the 18th. But right now, we are getting to the moment that everybody has been waiting for, the live drawing of Championship Flight.
Champ Flight. Here we are. Guys, we are at the 1 hour mark. Thank you for joining us live at San Pedro for the San Pedro Match Play drawing for the first round bracket. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, joining us tonight. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for just being so engaged and just involved. We appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and let's jump into our final flight before we go through and do an all bracket recap, Champ Flight. Let's kick it off. Let's see who our first.
Can I click the button?
Travis, you may click the button.
Is that okay?
That is fine.
I've never clicked the button.
Just hit the button. Travis just hit a button for the first time.
That's my first time. That's my first click.
It's his first click. Oh,
Who did I choose?
there you go.
Keel.
I was gonna say,
Keel. The number 1. I'm sorry, we're on the bottom up.
we're bottom up. Greg Keogh. Whew, I thought you were gonna land on me for a second. I was like, dang. All right. Playing against Keogh.
The first match.
The first
Greg
match
Keogh,
against
bottom
Greg Keogh.
left side of championship bracket. The back-to-back-to-back.
Oh, he's got to play Dustin Hassan.
I love that. That's such a good pick.
What? I'm so glad I rigged this before
What
we
do you call
started.
that?
I love that. That's a great match.
Keogh says nice spin.
It's a good spin. It's a great
It's a
spin.
stellar spin. Stellar.
Greg, I'm so happy that I selected you with my only spin.
Oh, wow. All right, next.
Jolly.
Jolly Shackelford. Let's see. All right.
Shackelford.
All right, playing against
Shackelford versus Dermanueli. That's my pick.
That's
The
your
two
official
longest names together in the same pairing.
No. You didn't call it.
I did. I
called
called
it.
a lotto ticket.
Wow. Wow. Rigged. Steve Roberts was right. Rigged.
Can I
Do I get
just
pops?
look and see where Andy's playing next?
Yeah, you want to go over to the next bracket? You want to go to the loser bracket and see where I'm at?
Right here. Okay.
Cool. I get to wait for 6 hours before I tee off. Out of curiosity, is he giving me pops?
Oh man, and we're gonna get off on a tangent. Dermanuelian's a 2. Shackelford is a 2. Yes.
I'm in loser bracket. Son of a bitch.
I love the positive attitude, folks.
Oh, golly. Yeah, lots of Jaeger to be consumed. Next
Love
pairing.
Jaeger.
I'll just be doing
And there will be drink specials. Leave it to Hobby. There will be drink specials.
Okay,
For sure.
next pairing starting out with Jaramillo.
Oh, double J. Jarami.
0.
All right, playing against Jeremy.
I'm going to say Steven.
You say Steven.
I'm going to say Steven. That would be electric.
He is going
Oh,
to go
Sean's
up
just
against-
as good. Yeah.
I mean, that's as good an option as any. Sean Vidal against Jeremy Armio.
That should be a really cool match.
I'm gonna follow.
I honestly might concede my first match to go watch that one.
I mean, it is.
It might be
worthy.
easier than losing.
You'll be right behind them. Watch them.
Yeah, but I want to be able to like go Facebook Live with it. Next group. Let's see. Let's find out.
I love the suspense. Caleb
Whitley playing. You know what, guys? Here's the other thing too, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. If you do get knocked out on Saturday, come back Sunday, demo day, Callaway, Paradigm. Shoot us an email if you want to get on the list to get fitted, test out some equipment. It's going to be a great time. So,
and that'll be in the newsletter that comes out this week as
yeah.
well. Callaway, Ian Parnaby and Callaway will be here at San Pedro Driving Range on Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. with the brand new Paradigm line. Try it before you buy it. There will be trade-in bonuses that day.
50%.
There will be a tour tournament discount that day. If you're looking for new clubs, at least come down and try out the Paradigm versus what you have right now.
And
You're going to be amazed.
And I said it last week, tried the Paradigm equipment. It does truly stack up against everything else out there. I found yardage I didn't think I'd go find. So great equipment. Looking forward to having them. So if you do lose on Saturday, or if you lose on Sunday and you want to hang around, check out Paradigm.
Or if you keep winning,
keep winning.
match, yes. We need one more name to get halfway through Champ Flight.
All right. So coming up against Mr. Whitley is going to be none other than Jonathan Aiken. Stop.
I was
Get
waiting.
out of here.
I was waiting down here, right?
I've got this down. Leave me
Okay,
alone.
okay, I will defer. Jonathan Aiken, we are halfway through Champ Flight. There are 8 names left, and all 8 of them rock stars.
I am glad I'm not playing any of these 8 right now. Let's see who's up. All right, we've got Steven Evans.
Steve Evans. Steven Evans on the opposite side of the bracket as Parmio and Vidal.
Okay, I'm gonna say he's playing Brad Huey. That's my guess. Let's see.
We're guessing now.
We're just gonna guess now. Come on, Brad. Come on, Brad. Come on, Brad. Come on, Brad. Brad Huey. It's rigged.
Hughey.
Oh, I like that matchup.
That's good.
That's a great matchup. All right. Let's see who's up next. Going to be Peter Anderson.
P. Anderson. I think I got Anderson. P-A-N-D-E-R-S-O-N.
Shall I call it again? I'm going to say we're playing Jason Sandoval. Come on, baby. No, I screwed up. Oh, I'm going to piece of shit. Playing Kirby Gorzel.
Kirby Gorzel.
There you go.
That is K-G-O-R-Z-E-L-L.
Yep. All right, folks. We are down to the final 4. Jason Sandoval, Chris Espinoza, Isaiah Tarwasakono.
I love that.
That's a great name.
I just came over the right name.
Congratulations. You've overtaken a few of us on most difficult and longest last name.
I mean, let's be real. There's some good names.
Yeah,
in here.
and
There's
rounding out.
Chesky, there's Dermanuelian, there's Shackelford. I mean, there's
Denowski with W.
And then rounding out the final 4 on the board, Tim De Hoyos are tied for first in point standing at the moment. So
is it a selection over?
no, that's our final 4 left here. So let's see who's going to be playing.
I love it.
In this next pairing. It looks like it is going to be Isaiah Tarwasakono.
Tarwasakono. I got it. Okay. That's Tarwasakono.
Fantastic.
Wow.
That is a lot of O's. Can I buy a vowel?
Look at those 3 names left.
That is. I mean, these are going to be really good matches too. Let's see who Isaiah is going to be playing against.
First time of the day.
Jason Sandoval.
That's Jay Sandoval.
Jay Sandoval.
And that leaves the Hoyas and Espinosa.
So this is an unfortunate final color pairing.
It's going to be very difficult to depict, so we're just going to have to let the wheel tell us.
The wheel will
right
decide.
now. It's the Hoyas versus Espinosa.
It looks like it's going to end on De Hoyos. It's a crapshoot, isn't it?
Chris
Espinosa!
That's right.
Which means Timmy D is going to be playing Chris Espinosa. Wow.
That is the 7 a.m. pairing. We've got the Hoyos and Espinosa, Sandoval and Carlos Ocono. It was my new favorite tour name of the night. And then we've got at 7:10 in the morning, we've got Kirby Gorzel and Peter Anderson. And then Brad Huey, Stephen Evans, I think is great. 7:20, we've got Jonathan Aiken and Caleb Wiley. And paired with the match of Sean Vidal and Jeremy Harmeo.
That could go.
That's electric. I think that is fabulous.
Woogie.
And then at 7:30, we got your host of the SPX Am Tour Power Hour podcast, Michael Dermanueli versus rockstar newcomer Jolly Shackelford. And then look at the other half.
I have such a great group to
The
go
other
play.
half of your pairing is the back-to-back defending champion, Dustin Hassan, versus Greg Kia.
Not only am I playing in a great group, I mean, I'm going to be cheering so hard every time Keo makes contact with the ball. I'm going to try and get in Dustin's head for Keo.
I love the fact that Dustin has a target on his back in this show. In this event on this show.
I mean,
all of the above. I think it's great.
You know what I think? Here's what I think. Oh, you can't see it. Hold, please, as I bring it back real quick. I'm going to go solo layout here. Here's what I think of Dustin. That's who.
I think
Greg
that's
Keo has to play against.
so good. If anybody watching. Defending champion of this event. Now's the time to take stabs at him.
Yep.
On the comments. He's not in the room. He's not on the show tonight. If anybody has anything negative to say about him, we already know that MD is going to be right there lighting him up.
I mean, I'm going to be messing with him like it's no one's business. And I'm going to be laughing with Keo and having a good time. Keo, that's washout, bro. You get relief. Embarrassing you couldn't hit the green from 87 yards. But, I mean, I'm still going to support him because that's what friends do.
Jonathan asked the number one handicap hole is actually hole number 4, and then number 9, and then number 3. So 4, 9, 3 is the order, and that will be in the first notice to players that's coming this weekend, and it is also currently on the website as well under the event details page for the San Pedro Match play.
Awesome. Guys, I mean, here we are. We
on camera together for the first
On
time.
camera together
and
first
we have 2 camera angles rocking and rolling.
Maybe the smoothest drawing we've ever had.
I mean, we've got multiple camera angles. It was a full production tonight.
I mean,
shout out to our cameraman, Casey Graham. Thank you so much for being
thank
here.
you, buddy.
And it's so cool to be on camera together doing the podcast live. I mean, it's been since the...
I was in Mexico when we were at San Pedro.
Yes. So we still were on the camera together. This is the first time we've been on the camera together. Casey is working the other camera right now. I'm struggling to focus. But thank you all for watching. I know we were on the air a little earlier than normal tonight, but we wanted to make sure that we gave this show as much time as it required. And MD.
I mean, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Covered Northern Hills. Congrats to our winners from Northern Hills. we will have, not only are those pictures posted, point standings are updated on the website. We'll have that posted, top 10 currently on Facebook as well. We are also going to get pictures of the bracket, so we will have that posted as well. First notice of players coming out Thursday this week. We're in next.
It will come out over the weekend for sure. It'll come out over the weekend for sure. I'll do my best to get it out Thursday, but we will definitely get this picture of this bracket posted on Facebook tonight from the live draw. Perfect. And then we'll get that put on the website in a little neater format. I'll correct the spelling on Dennis's name. I added, there's a W in my last name, and I added a W to Dennis's. So, sorry.
Here we go. But you know what, guys? We'll get all this information up. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Please remember, next week, next Tuesday, we will not be doing a show. Take that time to be with your significant other, or not, I guess.
Or not.
I'm
guess,
going to
yeah.
Houston for work.
I will also be in Houston this coming weekend, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, for the South Texas PGA annual meeting. So I'll make sure to post some content from there, good education, all that continuing stuff, all the credits that PGA members have to do to keep using those letters, which is important, you know.
It's important.
Yes. Thank you all for watching. Follow us on Facebook. Thank you for watching, YouTubers. STXAmTour.golf, your home for everything amateur golf in South Texas.
Guys, thank you so much. Have a good night. And, hey, we'll see you in a couple of weeks at San Pedro.